Were you ever aware of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell sexually abusing men or boys? Were you ever with Jeffrey Epstein in the presence of women or men in bathing suits or underwear?
I mean, if he was at the fashion show, he would have seen women in underwear.
Did you personally have a sexual relationship with Jeffrey Epstein? Are you aware that others have claimed that you had a sexual relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
So this is an excerpt from a memo that the Department of Justice wrote in December of 2019. And DOJ was assessing the extent to which people around Epstein might have been liable for their conduct.
Okay.
The memo is long. I have given you only the excerpt that relates to you. There's nothing else in this document that relates to you directly. The section that I've given you on the second and third pages of the document, that's 65 and 66 at the bottom. This is a summary of a proffer that your lawyer or lawyers gave to DOJ in July of 2019. With respect to Epstein's theft from you, in the second half of the second paragraph, I'll read it out loud. Your attorneys, quote, explained that over his years handling Wexner's finances, Epstein stole or otherwise misappropriated several $100 million from Wexner. That misconduct, together with the fees that Epstein paid himself for his services to Wexner, appears to account for virtually all of Epstein's wealth. So several $100 million is a large but not precise figure. To the best of your knowledge, how much exactly did Epstein steal?
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever know.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to try to understand a little bit better how Epstein was able to steal or misappropriate that many funds. One way, reportedly, is that the trusts that we described earlier, which I know you said you have no recollection of, I just want to be thorough. The trusts that he was trustee of would receive gifts of limited stock, and he would then sell that stock on the New York Stock Exchange and then use a portion of those proceeds for his own personal purposes. Do you have any knowledge or recollection of what I just described?
I'm effing surprised. I'm shocked. I didn't know this.
Is it that you have not previously heard what I just described?
I never heard of it, never saw this document.
And it was publicly reported, I think, by ABC several years ago, but not ever on your radar.
Never.
Okay. The report indicates that it was more than or around $1.3 billion of stock that Epstein moved around that way. Not that he kept all of that money for himself, but the total amount of stock sales was over $1 billion. You have no knowledge or awareness of that.
I don't know the amounts. The only trust that I'm aware of is my wife set up trusts for our kids, so however she set them up in the amounts, I have no idea what's in them then or now.
And then separately, it's been reported that around $20 million of stock and cash were contributed by two of your charitable foundations to one of Epstein's charities. Do you have any knowledge or awareness of that?
Effing shocked. I'm appalled. I never heard that. Did you know that? No. Except so.
Thank you, Mr. Director. We have some additional questions, and we have some questions from some of the members here. I'll start. I want to just go back to something. Now, earlier in the deposition, Mr. Director, you said that you were never aware of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell sexually abusing minors or adult women. Is that correct?
I know Jeffrey was accused by an adult woman of abusing her, and that's the only thing that I knew until the shit hit the fan.
So prior to it becoming public knowledge, you were never aware
No.
of Jeffrey Epstein collecting?
Absolutely not.
Were you ever
You have to
aware?
wait till he finishes asking the question.
Sorry.
The court reporters will get mad at you if you don't.
Okay, so I think you said that, you said that you were not. Were you ever aware of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell sexually abusing men or boys?
No.
Okay. How about trafficking men or boys?
No.
Prior to it becoming public knowledge, were you ever aware of Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell arranging for a prominent person to have sex with another person?
Never.
Okay. Can I ask you, Mr. Wexner, were you ever with Jeffrey Epstein in the presence of women or men in bathing suits or underwear?
No.
Never in the presence of women or men in bathing suits or underwear with Mr. Epstein?
No. I mean, if he was at the fashion show, if he was at the fashion show, he'd have seen women in underwear, but, 500 people.
So you're saying that if he was at a fashion show with you through the fashion business,
Yeah.
it may have been the case, but could it have been the case that you were with Mr. Epstein maybe prior to the fashion show or in another space?
No. Absolutely not.
So did any women or men ever model clothes for you in the presence of Mr. Epstein?
No.
So not at a fashion show and not in a private home or residence?
Being in the audience at the fashion show would have been the only possible time.
Are you aware of any individual that has given either a public statement or any information of anyone that has actually said that they believe you were with Mr. Epstein in the presence of women or men modeling clothes or underwear?
I think the answer is no, but I'm not sure I understand the question.
I'll move on. Just a direct question for you, sir. Also, did you yourself ever have a sexual encounter with any individual that was introduced to you by Jeffrey Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell?
No.
Did you personally have a sexual relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
Are you aware that others have claimed that you had a sexual relationship with Jeffrey Epstein?
No.
Did you ever suspect, sir, if Jeffrey Epstein ever had any sexual relationships with other men?
No.
But since it being public knowledge, you are now aware that Jeffrey Epstein had inappropriate sexual relationships with other women. Is that correct?
Yes, what I know from the press, the stories, yes.
Okay, thank you.